Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year to everyone. This is the Sass. My name is Nikki Adamkowitz, and I come live to you every single Sunday to let you guys know that I'm here. I'm here for you. I'm here to teach you all things sublimation. I hope you guys have started off your year amazing. Welcome to our back in class session. That's right. For the first half of every year, I usually take the time to really hone in on the basics, give you guys some tips and tricks. Remember, all the opinions held here at the Sass are of mine and mine alone. But I do have two amazing ladies behind the helm, as I do every single Sunday that I do this. Let's give it up for Jess and Jody. That's right. We have Jody over on the YouTube channel, and we have Jessica over on Facebook. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and share this tutorial. Whether you're watching me over on Facebook or you're over there on the YouTube channel, make sure that you participate. I like to see the comments. I try to go back and read them as much as I can. And the ladies love the questions. They also post out your links for you. And today is sponsored by Driven by Graphics. That is right. My bestie from the South is the sponsor of the Sass this morning for all things baby. Now I did pick items that also came from other vendors, and I'll show you those too. I even have some honorable mentions, if you will. I would also like to take this opportunity to say thank you for nominating me and me winning 2 Reggies this past year. I won one in Women in Decorating and Most Inspirational. So I really truly hope that I inspire you every single Sunday that I am live with content that you are happy with, that you feel like, hey, I can watch you on the big screen TV. Shout out to Evelyn, who does that every Sunday. Now you guys can see me on both channels. So welcome. If you're new here, this is how it goes. I'm pretty exciting. I have lots of facial expressions. I only promote products that I truly love. And if I'm testing out a new product, my face is going to tell you long before my mouth does. So you'll get used to that too. Let's just get right into it, shall we? I want to just run to the comments real quick. I want to say shout outs to all those who are over on the YouTube channel first. So good morning. Thank you, Jody, for holding down the fort over there. I would like to say good morning to Julie, Mary Jo, Beverly, Lynn. Is it Kawana? I think it's how you say it. Countess, Kelly, Claire. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Evelyn. Good morning, good morning, good morning to all those over on the YouTube channel. And over on my Facebook channel, we have Patty, Edie, Shy, Tanya, Kathy, Teresa. We also have Bonita, Lisa, Terry, Patty. We have Shalata, Shisha, Dorothy, Laurie, Tabby, Miriam, Tanya, Karen, Janet, Margaret. I'm going through the whole list. Tamara and Joanne. If I missed you, don't worry. It doesn't mean I forgot you. It's just I really want to get on with this show. Thank you guys so much. This is awesome. As you can see by the banner, you will see everything that we have there. We have the Sassy Subber banner, and we also have the Driven by Graphics banner. So make sure you are, there we go. I'm up there now. That is our sponsor for today's Sass. So I started this last year. We're going to get right into it this year. These are the products that you're going to need for this tutorial. All right, the products that we're using for this tutorial, the top items are going to come right from Driven by Graphics. You're going to see the baby bib. You're going to see the bib, the burp cloth, the Lovey, his newest item, the baby blanket, which I'm going to show you how to do today. We're actually going to introduce you to Big Papa's brother, Big Daddy. So Big Daddy is also going to be, yes, I named my equipment. You'll just learn to understand that. So Big Daddy is the newest heat press, RIP Big Papa, and I'm going to show you how to use the board method for the blanket. Those all come from Driven by Graphics. I have a headband and a onesie, and actually it's a gown, so to speak. Those all come from Kids Blanks. And then the memory keepsake box, I should say, comes from Johnson Plastics. You're going to need a heat press, heat tape, a lint roller, blowout paper, and your settings are going to vary depending on what it is we're doing. Oh, good, I got names right. So that's what we are using in today's tutorial. Now I'm going to go through, I'm going to show you the items before we press them. This way you can see what we're working on. I'm going to give some honorable mentions at this point as well for things that maybe you didn't think about. One of the biggest things about baby is it's probably still the most untapped market. People feel that as if, well, everybody's doing it. Guess what? Not everybody's doing it. So babies are gonna come. Babies are always going to come. It doesn't stop, okay? It's not like babies are a fad, okay? They're not a trend. Babies happen every single year, every single day. So listen, if you feel like everybody's doing it, just know that no, not everybody is, and you can tap into your local market. So let's give you some products. So this is the memory box from Johnson Plastics Plus. Love this memory box. I actually have a hook that I put here so you can close it. Let me just pull this out. It has a metal insert inside of it. You make sure you peel off the film for this. But this box is a great keepsake box that you can offer to any new mom. This is where she's going to keep that first lock of hair, right? Or little notes of I love you to her baby, especially if they're first babies. Let's be honest, by the time our second and third and however subsequent babies come, these boxes don't get filled up as much as baby one does. But you know what? They're still a nice thing to have. It's also great for first birthdays. But this is a little keepsake box, and it's perfect for baby. All right? We also have, let me grab some other stuff over here. Shout out to my member who gave me a Know Me mug for this year's Sass. There we go. All right, so I am absolutely in love with these blankets. Every baby loves to just sit there and rub on these blankets because they are so snuggly soft. These come from Driven by Graphics. They are 30 by 40. We're gonna have a crack at this one today first. We're gonna do the big thing first, and we'll get to that in a second. He also has the baby bibs. If you love Driven by Graphics towels, these baby bibs are just like it. They have this very luxurious type front. What I mean by that is it's super soft. It's great for the pressing, but it has the workhorse terry cloth back, which means it's great for picking up spills and wiping off baby's mouth. Not that you can't with the front, but it's absorbent for the back, right? And the bibs and the burps both come that way. You will see the color. I'm doing two different sets today, so you'll be able to see what it looks like with a non-background or transparent background, and then I'm going to do a full bleed. So we're going to work on both of those today. And then he has the mini, the absolutely adorable little lovey. Isn't that adorable? Let me give you a little bit of a pro tip here. All right, so these loveys are meant for baby to hold, great for car seats when mom doesn't want to bring the big blanket out, right? But do you know what these also double as? Cute baby blankets for doll. Maybe baby just came and is now the little sister or the little brother to an older sibling, right? Well, guess what? You can use this as a doll blanket as well, and you can give them as a little gift to the big brother or sister, because let's get real. Big brothers also have dolls, all right? Maybe they want to put it over the truck. Maybe they want their own little lovey. Who knows? Who cares, right? But they are the same material as the big blanket. So don't just look at this as something that can be just for baby. Maybe it's also for a dolly too. So we also have, this is the gown. Now I was going to do a onesie, but I found a gown in my stash, so you guys get to watch me do this. I love the newborn gowns. They're absolutely precious. This comes from Kids Blanks. Let me give you a tip for that. Don't just buy one, buy six, because it is a discounted price when you buy one versus six. It's so much cheaper when you buy that quantity. And they also have the headbands that you tie. We're going to work on that today as well. Here in the honorable mentions, so you can do headbands. You could do that kind of headband, or you could do the elastic headbands. When I give you the measurements for these, please note that I don't ever tie the ends. I let mom tie it around baby's head, and I give them the instructions to say, tie it to fit your baby's head, just not the bottom. I will add a cute little bow to the top. and whatnot. So I will, when I do my hair accessories Sass one time, I will make sure that we revisit this so that you can see it and what the sizing is. But this is just an honorable mention. I have done hair ties in the past, so you can go over on the YouTube channel, or if you're watching me on YouTube, you can also go and find it there as well. It was one of the 12 days of gifts, I think is what it was. In the honorable mention category as well, these 3 items come from Driven by Graphics. What is a better way than to honor baby or that newborn with an ornament? He has these guys right here. These are his ball ornaments. You will see how I'm going to transform this into other things in an upcoming Sass, but you will see how you can put maybe the sonogram, maybe baby's first picture out of the hospital, right? You can offer these and get mom on board with an ornament. Also, did you know you could do birth announcements? Right. On a garden flag. Maybe you want to offer a garden flag and you want to do the birth announcement of the baby. You could do dry erase boards. You can get those at Condi and Johnson Plastics. Those are great for when feeding schedules, all of that kind of stuff. You could also go get infant socks at like places like Walmart. As long as they're 100% polyester, you can get infant socks and maybe have a little cute infant socks, right? Another idea. Remember how I talked about the whole towel? Well, here's the towel, right? This happens to be the smaller one, but if you use the larger one, they make great changing pads. That's right. They make great changing pads to throw in that diaper bag. It doesn't have to be a plastic one. It could be a really soft, cushy cloth one if you want. So, you know, having a towel, whether it's the small version, which is this one right here, or the larger version, it really, you can think of all those wonderful ideas of how you can include it and make it totally baby friendly. These are great for when you're traveling and you need a quick towel. This is a great idea for cleaning baby up because wipes aren't always a thing. You know, these help for in a pinch, if you will. And you get to, wash it when you're done. I totally derailed. All right, let's get started on this. All right, we are going to switch cameras and I'm going to totally come over here. We're going to talk about the things that you're going to need. This has already been pre-lint rolled, my baby blanket, because it does take me a good long time. But we're going to talk about the lint rollers that I do use for all of my fabric products. I went through and pre-did all of that for you guys. We're going to talk about my board and all of the fun stuff. So let's hop over to the other camera. There we go. Okay. So now that we're over here to the other camera, you guys can see the baby blanket, right? Here are the 2 types of lint rollers that I use. I have one that's a 3M lint roller. This is a velvet lint roller. This acts like little fingers, if you will, to get into the fibers. It also helps with those press lines to getting them back and forth because it acts like it's a, it pulls against the fibers to help bring them back up after the press has squished them. You also have your standard lint roller. That works for everything as well. But I like to use this one on my fabrics, and then I like to use this one just for everyday use. But I will use both interchangeably. We're going to talk about my board real quick. Whoa, let's reveal that bad boy. This is a piece of, pretty much it's shelving that you can get at the Home Depot. It's like an MDF type board. It's about a 1/2 inch thick. I ordered Teflon by the roll from Amazon, covered it, taped it down, make sure I tape down all the edges so that when I am sliding this, it doesn't snag, which I just heard it snag. Hold on. Oh, okay, it's all there. All right. Why do we use the board? The board helps when we are laying out our projects, all right? And I know there's a lot of people who are scared. Oh, Nick, it's a board. I know. All right, so my board doesn't exactly fit my baby blankets because of my space issue. You can get it to where it is a 30 by 40. Just have somebody cut it down for you. But here's why I do this. So when I'm laying things down, I can lay them down and I can do this. I can move everything on my board so that I am not moving my paper. So I will work from the top. Once I get to a certain spot, I'll slide it off, lay it out, and I'll rotate things. It just helps too with You see how this droops over the edge? Your paper droops. So what does it do? It pulls against your fabric, right? And when it pulls against your fabric, it's pulling your image. So as you're sliding it and shooking it around, it's not doing you any favors, and that's where you end up with shadowing and double pressing lines, issues. It ends up as a hot mess. What we want to do is have it so that we can lay this out. Guess what? I don't even tape stuff down unless I have to piece it together. You will see we're going to do a milestone board today that I won't be taping any of it down. At least I don't think so at the moment. But we're going to work on the top half and work our way over. All right. I did show over in the Sassy Subber group a layout. You can always go get that free template. It's just an idea of where to lay things out if you're confused, and the general size for these 30 by 40 blankets. All right, so what I like to do is I never try, unless it's a full bleed, I don't put anything on this edge. There's an edge to the blanket. I let that hang over, and I literally line it up with the edge of my board. All right, I'm gonna go comments real quick. Just make sure y'all are. My right side is hidden by the banner. My right side is hidden by the banner. It's fine. So we have all of that. I don't know what she's talking about. My right side is hidden by the banner. I can see it. Let me see. I throw the blankets in the dryer for 20 minutes before I press to get most of the lint off them. And then oh, good idea. There we go. All right. I just wanted to make sure we were, well, somebody said I didn't have, it's fine. It's fine. All right. So I have my images right here. I'm going to pull those out real quick. So my back office staff saying, Nikki. That's why I love having the back office staff. They can go in and they'd be like, now Nikki, did you know? And I'd be like, no, I did not. All right. So first things first, I know how I want to lay it out. I'm going to lay it out, pre-lay it out for you guys. The rest of the stuff that I'm doing is very quick when I do it because it's simple pressing. But this one's going to take me a little bit. So this one says, Dream Big, Little One. And I know that I want Dream Big, Little One up at this top corner. Okay? Now, I will see, as you can see, my press is only going to press a certain amount of items per spot. All right? So I will take this, press this. Again, the reason for me putting the board here is so that I'm not taping it and it's not dripping down, causing a pull action so that when I'm sliding it, I have less of an issue. Now, I will tell you one thing real quick. Let me just make sure that this is loosened up. I gotta get under. Hold, please. Ugh. Because I forgot to loosen it up. This is what happens when you're short. In my next life, I mean my next job, I will make it so I can walk around this thing. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. So, I'm just going to, for purposes of being able to close this. Perfect. Okay. And I will show you how to get those lines out. So, as you can see, this is what it's going to look like. We've got it to where we want it to be. I might move over the, give me 1 second. Line everything up where you want it. Let me make sure it's the right side. Okay, perfect. Let me also give you another pro tip too. When you're laying stuff out, when it comes to how you want to lay it out, get a pencil, and I don't know where my pencil is. Put an arrow facing up. Means it's the back of your heat press so that you know that this is the top of your image every time. If you go through, and if you're laying stuff out, number it too. I'm pretty good at knowing where I need my stuff, but even I will sit here, lay it all out, number the back with a pencil because a pencil does not affect the image. Put a little arrow at the top to let me know that this is the top of the blanket so I'm not flipping things upside down, because how many times have we done that? You could do that for any project, by the way. It doesn't just have to be for blankets. It could be for any project that you want, that you can sit here and go through and make sure that it's all where it needs to be. Now, we got to get some butcher paper. You're going to hear this a lot over the next couple weeks. We use butcher paper. The reason we use butcher paper, I don't care what anybody tells you, the reason we use butcher paper is to protect our investment. I'll tell you a story time in about 2 seconds of how Nikki has to learn her own words of advisement here. So let's just drop this down. I'm doing $3.95 for 65. Let me give you a quick story time. We're going to flip the camera real quick. Here's a quick story time. I was making a white hoodie, and I thought, oh, it's gorgeous, right? And I was doing stuff down the sleeves, totally spot on. I had just done the inside of the hood, and it was completely red. Guess who forgot to put butcher paper on the top of her image? What I didn't realize, and I know I should have because I've been doing this long enough, it had off-gassed through the paper and ended up on my top platen. So when I went to go do that sleeve, my very white sleeve became very pink very quickly, and I got to see my image through it. I have never been so frustrated with myself because I needed to use my own words of advisement to let me know that I have to use the butcher paper on the top. Again, because we never know. Nothing in life is absolutely spot on perfect. You always just want to keep protecting that investment. What are your investments? It's your platen on your heat press. It's your substrate underneath. Because you know what? Let's be real for a second. They're not cheap. All right? So there you go. Whoops. I knew that sticker was going to come off. Okay. Now, I could see my image through the paper. Let's peel it back. Oh, she's going to be beauteous. 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 All right. So, I am not going to sit here and pull out with the lint roller all the stuff. What I'm going to do is then come over here, right? Now that I know where that one is, I'm going to slide it over. So then I'm now on this end. And this end is actually the end I'm going to start working on. I started over there because my numbers are going to end up over here. All right, so I have numbers. I also have a border that's going to end up over here. So I want to put the border on. I'm going to see how much I can get in this little space. Now, mind you, this is a 16 this way, a 20 this way. I might, just might, be a rebel and try to go this way and get it to where I can get everything in. I'm going to give you all heart failure by doing this way because I'm about to lay this out and show you that it is possible to do it this way and not fear the press. All right, so we have a few items we have to get on the press. I know, you're all holding your breath right now. I can hear it. You're like, Nikki, you're giving me heart failure. You're right. So I'm going to sit here real quick. I'm going to lay this out. Did you just watch me turn it? Yeah, see, that's how I'm not going to mess this up. That board, I didn't have to keep picking it up, right? That's the beauty of the board. So we're going to lay this out, and I'm going to pull all the pieces that I need. Whoops, almost cut all the paper. I didn't pre-cut these, so I do apologize for that. I was so excited to do all this. It was exciting to me, right? So we're going to lay this out right up to here. Okay, I just want to make sure yep, perfect. Again, I don't have my pencil handy, or I would be doing this with the pencil because that's how we should be doing things. Now, I have this to where my numbers are laid out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we're going to see if I can do this all in one press. Do you notice I'm still not doing stuff? Right. Where's the edge? You know what? I want to make sure I get right to the edge of the numbers because this way I can see. I can bring them right up close to where I need them to be, right? We want that to happen. What size board is this? I'll give you the measurements of the board in about 2 seconds. will she press down? Oh, she's gonna work. Oh, where did that press go? Oh, no. Nope. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in through here first. All right. We're going to lay out this guy first. I want him the back piece because I can slide him off real quick. I can slide that back piece off really quickly so that I can press this. I need it on the long way. So let's just drop. Ooh, I forgot to put my butcher paper down! Ah! Okay. Well, that was dumb. See, I told you, even I forget. But don't worry. Watch what. I'm not going to move it. Fudge. Guess what, guys? Hashtag she's human too. I just told you the story too. I hope you're getting a good chuckle. Yeah, I'm going to put the butcher paper down on the second one so I can protect the investment further on. It wouldn't be a day if Nikki didn't screw this up once. Damn it. Oh gosh, I hope you guys are enjoying this. Give me some hearts, give me some loves, because guess what? I'm going to need it. I'm going to need it. I'm going to need it for this one. I know! Say a wing and a prayer with me, people. Wing and a prayer, right? Right? Let's just do that. Good Lord. We're going to pop this, pull this off, lay it back down. Okay. Gosh darn it. Okay, we're going to pull this off the edge just a little. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Nick, you're going to double press stuff. I know. Double pressing isn't necessarily going to kill it. Let me just tell you. What's going to kill it is when Nikki doesn't use her butcher paper and she's supposed to. That's what's going to kill this. Okay. So, God darn it. Oh, butcher paper. Let's see. This needs to go that way. And then, I know you guys are chuckling. I know you guys are enjoying this to no end. You're like, yes, finally, I feel validated that I'm not the only one in the universe who screws stuff up. No, you're not. I do it too. Hashtag I'm human. Okay. All right. Blowout paper. But before I use the blowout paper, I just want to get this all centered back on here. All right. Good golly, Miss Molly. Where's my end? There it is. Let me get my butcher paper. Again, it wouldn't be a sass if Nikki didn't screw this up at least once. Right? That's what makes a sass a sass. You guys get to watch me fumble through all of this. I make you feel kind of important. I make you feel like, you know what, you're not alone. I'm going to drop this down. And look, Ma used my butcher paper. See, that's the beautiful part about learning together. Learning together means, you know what, we remind each other that we're human. We remind each other that, hey, it happens. We remind each other that even, you know, when I'm teaching, yeah, I'm going to make mistakes. I make mistakes in my own life without having the world watching me. So cut yourself some slack and give yourself some grace. That was just a minor mistake. I say minor, and I only use the term minor because, well, I didn't necessarily ruin the substrate, at least not yet. But I'm doing other things to make sure that I don't ruin it, right? It was a good catch on my part. I can at least recover from it, hopefully, right? And that's what we're doing. That's what the Sass is about. The Sass is about learning together and realizing, hey, the person on the screen, yeah, I'm going to show you all the issues that I have. And there's a butt ton of them. Okay. Turn this around. Just so you know, the comments over there, so I can't read them just yet, but I will go back and read them, I promise. Make sure it's on the screen. Perfect. no residual effect from this problem over here. So that's good. Now what we're gonna do is I'm still working my way down, except I'm gonna flip the board. And yes, I'm actually gonna press the images upside down. See, this is where the point of the arrow will help you. All right. I could slide this off the back of my board. I don't want to get it stuck there. I'd rather the pieces hang off this side of it. We're going to put the rest of the numbers, and I'm going to put what it says months on here, and that finishes out this half, and then we have just this corner to do, and guess what? We're done. So we're going to flip this around, pull this over. Now, if you're double pressing, you're not going to want to use, if you're like you've pieced paper together, you're not going to want to pull this all the way over like I'm doing right here. Now, you're going to go, Nikki, you're going to put this upside down. You're right. Sort of. Now that I have my edge where I need it to be, I'm going to sit really quick and make sure that this is all lined up on the corner of my board, right? Line it all up. But I'm going to let this sit up here for a second, because we are much better as people when we can line it up from the side. We can do it that way. We know which direction it's going in, right? And as you can see, I am lining it up. I'm making sure that it would be correct. The arrows will still help because you know the arrows are in the direction of the top, right? So you know, no matter what direction you're in, your arrows would be facing your numbers. So now we're going to put this right here, and that's it. We're going to run this around. I'm going to put butcher paper on the top. We're going to drop it down. Now I know what you're thinking, Nikki, you're double pressing on those items. Don't worry, it really doesn't affect it all that bad. You won't see double press lines and whatnot. These are really forgiving blankets too when it comes to that kind of stuff. And the color, can you guys see the color on the camera? I can't wait to show you guys this, what it looks like when I hold it up. It is gorgeous, the colors in this. You can find this whole set in my shop at the Sassy Subber on Etsy and on sassysubber.com. Shameless plug. Did you also know here at the Sass, I like to support my friends? That's right. So all of the products that you see from my local homegrown are my friends. They're the ones that I like to support. They're their mom and pop type stores. They're the ones that I literally will buy their products because I love them too. So I love to support my friends, and they, well, in turn, they support me. So that's a beautiful thing. Just cutting up these images while it's cooking over here. And then we'll get right into, I might leave the board up, but we can get right into, I'm going to show you how to do the burp on a 16 by 20. All right. What do I do with that paper? I shred it up, and then I use it for packing material later in life. Let's peel this off. Oh, she's stunning. All right, last piece of my puzzle. Shook this down. All right. And the last piece of my puzzle is going to be the other corner piece, and her name will all be in this last piece of the puzzle. And hopefully I can do it in one press, but I won't know until I lay it out, right? We got to lay it out. Now you can pre-lay things out. You can number it, take a picture of it. That's also another pro tip. You could take a picture of it once it's laid out so that you know exactly where it needs to go. That's something definitely a lot of people will do just so that they know, and then they flip it over and they number it in the direction in which they want it to go in. So there is this piece and there's this piece. So this piece goes at the bottom. Yeah, you get to deal with my many accents too. Did you know I have many accents? Yeah, I do. All right. Put that in the corner. This will go up here. We may have to do this one separately. Remember, we talked about that. We talked about how I had to do these separately. I might have to do the same thing with this and press this at a different spot, just because in this way I'm not trying to mess with it, because this is like 14 by 14 I'm going to play around with it and see how big, and if you ever wonder how big it should fit. All right, we'll see. This is a new design for me, so again, with that being a new design, well, I don't always get it right. Okay. Now, we have this. I'm going to see, I can tell you right now that this will not fit under that direction. So I'm going to whip her around, and guess what? It fits under this direction. So it's going to fit right in this spot that I have right here. Whoops, I forgot to pull this up. Give me a second. I want this here. I want this here. Make sure it's all lined up the way I want it. Edge of board, perfect. Okay. Scoot this down just a touch. All right, let me get my butcher paper. You know, whoever designed this shop did not think about all this. Okay. Let me make sure it's back under the line. I know you're thinking, this is a lot of fuss, Nick. I know. I'm fussy. What do you want? I like me some fussy work. And now we pray. So there you go. That is actually the last part of this puzzle. And then this way you could do this type of thing. Do you have to put the borders on it? No. Can you just put a name at the bottom? Absolutely. You can make it however you want. I do have in that template, it does show you what the what it looks like, and it gives you the idea that where these numbers are and whatnot. So there you go. We have that working for us. Clean up our mess. Check the comments. Right? Are the numbers different colors, black and gray? Actually, no. They are a purple and a light, they're a dark purple and a light purple, actually. All right. You'll see. It's more of a like a mauve-y purple. It looks black and gray on the screen, but it's not. Okay. Ow. Okay. Now, as you can see, I have these press marks over here, and those press marks, how to get rid of them? While your stuff is hot, you literally can just go into the other direction, and you just push it away. Push it away and let it do its thing. It helps get out all those little press lines that you may have all over your blanket, right? You go this way, and then you go this way. You fluff it up, all right? We want to fluff back up that blanket a little bit, and it fluffs up all of those press marks. All right, and you just go back and forth until you don't have them at all. All right, let me get to the big screen to where you can see everything. All right, here she is. This is the blanket. It is actually a purple. If you get up really close, you will see it's a mauve-y purplish color with a light purple color. What you can use as markers, get a round ornament, put a bow in where that hole is, and it becomes a great marker to put over the numbers. You can get the metal ones, you can get MDF ones, but that's it. So here's what it looks like close up of the colors. I mean, the colors are absolutely stunning for this. So, you know, this is what you have for this. So that's what that looks like. Absolutely gorgeous. It's so stunning, this whole thing. I love this whole set. It's not in your face girly pink. It's a purple. So we have that. Now we're going to take away the board. All right, the board we're going to take away. And the reason we're going to take away the board is because I don't have anything else that I need to press that needs the board. Everything I need is going to be for my 16 by 20. Now, whoops, wrong one. There you go. Sorry, hit the wrong button. Everything that you're going to need for the other stuff is going to be on my 16 by 20. If you have a 15 by 15, well, then the 15 by 15, you could use a mini board for that, and the mini board will help you with everything that you need. So you can cut this board in half. For those who have a 15 by 15 press, you can definitely use that. Now I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to check my pressure on it because I have other items that I need to press. I'm going to do a pre-press. Now we're going to talk about this really quick. Oops, you forget how high you have to do this for those boards. All right, let's talk about this. If you can tell, it does not fit because the burp cloths are actually 20.5, I believe what it is, or 20.25. Just barely fits over the edge. So, pro tip, that's right. Believe it or not, you have more surface area going kitty corner. Now you can get the full outline of your burp cloth and have it work for you. Now we're going to work on our full bleed burp cloth first, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like with a non-full bleed. I saw the comment. My Reggie Award Women in Decorating Award. Yes, my other one is actually over there. So, someone mentioned I needed to show them off and be proud of all of my hard work. So, that's exactly what I'm doing. Being proud of my hard work. All right. So, lay this out. Now, I don't know if you know this, but there is a right or a wrong way to this. You might have to flip it around if it's not sitting correctly. And it's just because this is a fabric item and no template is really 100% no matter what you use it for. Driven by Graphics did a really good job at making sure he has a template that fits so much better than others. So there you go. Now, I lay this out. Do I tape this? Yes, yes, yes I do. Why? Because I'm about to flip it over. We're going to protect our investment with some butcher paper on both sides of this. Now remember, you cannot press on the back side. It is terry cloth, okay? And the terry cloth is cotton, so you can't sublimate on that. All right. We're going to put the butcher paper down at the bottom. We want to protect that bottom plate too. We're going to lay this out. I'm going to make sure. So what I like to do with this is figure out where my lines are on my press, right? Because then that's going to help me for when I'm lining this up to make sure that I am all in on my press. All right, and now you have this side. You want to make sure you're all in on that side as well. All right, you want to make sure you're feeling around for it. Make sure there's an edge on everything. Okay, good. All right, now just drop it like it's hot. Why? You all missed that phrase. Because it is. So we're going to press that one for, I have it at $3.95 for 65. This is what's working for Big Daddy. Big Daddy is the newest heat press. So let me tell you a story about the heat press dying. Okay, so I had a Big Papa. He was a 16 by 20 auto clam with pull-out drawer from Heat Press Nation. Well, he has seen better days. He started losing temperature. You know, that's what happens when you get old age. You know, you start losing your faculties, and then that's what happens. I've already had to replace the heating element on it and the switch multiple times because I use it so much. So it wasn't getting the pressure that I needed because I had dropped the platen. That's right. So it had a turn at the top here. Well, I had used it so much the platen would drop off and I'd have to put it back on. I finally decided that it was time to retire him and send him off to heat press heaven and that is where he is now. So while I am in the search of my next big papa, I got Big Daddy. Big Daddy's a fancier studio one. It's 16 by 20, and listen, they are the best little workhorses ever. Don't knock the heat press. Everybody says, oh, you need a top of the line heat press. No, guess what? You don't, okay? And if they're telling you that, then clearly they're stuck on one kind versus another. I get fantastic pressure with my fancier studio ones. I've used my little guy all last year to show you guys, because Big Daddy was giving me such a problem. I would only pull him out when I needed to. His heat up time took like 45 minutes. So, yes, see, this is why we use blowout paper, because you can see the remnants right there. So you definitely don't knock the heat press thing. Now, I know that a lot of people like to use the Cricut Easy Press. That one's a tough one, and I'll explain why, because you can't get a good enough pressure. On a lot of items, you might need heavy pressure, you might need light pressure, medium pressure, whatever it may be, and you really can't get that with a Cricut Easy Press. That is gorgeous. And the reason why you can't get that is because you're using your own pressure. If you just lay it on there, that's its pressure. And it's a constant pressure, yes, but you can't change the pressure of it. So that's the only downfall I really see, and the fact that it's a small platen size. So there's that. But if you're looking for an inexpensive heat press, Amazon. Just do Amazon. It's okay. All right, we're going to grab that other one, and I'm going to show you. Again, remember we lined it up kitty corner. These were all lint rolled and pre-pressed prior to the show so that I could get through this, because this baby Sass is a huge Sass. All right, so remember, you go kitty corner to kitty corner. Now, I just showed you what the full bleed looks like. Maybe you don't want a full bleed. Maybe you want something just not full bleed. Now, this would be great if you're scared and you have a 15 by 15 and you're like, Nikki, I can't use it. Even with the board method, I can't use it. That's why I put stuff that has stuff only on the ends and has the white in the middle, so it's heat press friendly no matter what the size of your press is. Okay. Let's see. And flip this around. Downside to fabric. Downside to fabric is that trying to make sure that you have it all lined up where it needs to be, and you guess and you worry and you guess and you worry. Okay, we're just gonna run with it. We're just running with it. I might have to do this one a little bit bigger just because, again, it has the end pieces on it, but we'll see. You can just make it a little lighter. Adding some tape. Butcher paper. Line it up. Drop it down. Like as you saw, this is what a full bleed would look like. If you're scared to attempt the full bleed, it's okay. It's okay to be scared for that. We can do that, and we can make sure that it works for you by having it be just a half bleed, bottom part, I should say. All right. Getting my bibs and my burps and my lovies all together. My plate. This one and we are almost there. Can you believe we're almost there? And we have I'm trying to get this done so it's not gonna take us for absolutely forever to watch this. So let me go to the comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have an easy prep and use 2 tent weights to put on top of it. Great pressure. Awesome. Linda, if that's what works for you, that's fine. Like I said, it's just one of those things that can't always get the correct pressure. And the paper fell. All right, so here's what it looks like. I'm going to show you quick on the big screen. There we go. Here's what you can do with it. Whoops, got to pull the tape off of that one. Besides, okay, so you have what I call the half bleed, so you could do a half design, or you have what I call the full bleed, okay? The full bleed and the half bleed definitely work for you. Here's the color. As you can see, the colors are absolutely stunning for this, to give you guys a great look on the color. I love the little pink cow. The pink cow is probably my favorite one right now. I do have one with red for boys, and now we have pink for girls, for those who wanted to have that. So that's what those look like. All right, let's work on the loveys. The loveys are just basically mini towels. They're about 11 by 18, the size. Here's one that's going to be a full bleed. We're going to get that, lay that out. These are really small, so really it's quick and easy to have all of this. Again, as I stated, I've already lint rolled these and pre-pressed all of my items so that I could get through the show. All right, you want to make sure that your image is lined up to where you want it to be. Tape it down, straighten it out. So what I'll do, and it's hard to see on my camera. Oh, hold on. Let me switch it over. Give me a second. Okay. So what I like to do, and it's hard to see that I'm doing this, because it's fabric, I will take this and stretch it so that this goes a lot more straight than just laying it out, okay? I'll show you again. I'll come through here and I'll lay it out and stretch it so that it will be a little bit more, because fabric's wonky, okay? And with fabric being wonky, you want to be able to make sure that everything is where it needs to be, okay? You might even want to pull a little bit up to make sure that this straightens out or the bottom straightens out, whatever it may be, all right? Because, again, it is fabric. We're going to get our butcher paper. I grabbed too much butcher paper, but that's okay. Lay it out. I do that with a lot of fabrics too. You'll notice me do that. What I'm doing is I'm flattening it out. Sometimes there's little air bubbles and whatnot. Whoopsies. I have to get a new roller on. I'm running out of butcher paper on that roll. I'm finally running out of it. Drop it down and let it press. So when you have a baby set, you can offer as little or as much as you want. You can have it be, maybe it's just a bib and a burp set. Maybe you want to have a bib, a burp, and a lovey. Maybe you want to have an add-on package. However you want to market your items is completely up to you. And your price point, again, guess what, is up to you. When you're talking about price points, when it comes to your products, here's what you have to look at. First, you have to look at what it costs to get it. What the cost of the product is, what it costs to ship it in. If you buy bulk items, break it up on that shipping as to what it costs. So you break it down, figure out what it costs. We're going to just use fictitious numbers for this tutorial. So you want to make sure that you're making enough per hour. Yes, you got to pay yourself per hour. How many can you do in an hour? Blah, blah, blah. There's lots to it. There's a huge factor into that. Now, you will get people, such as myself, who tell you to times it by certain amounts and percentages. That's actually what my accountant told me, so that's where I went with it. Everybody does their own thing, so I just did what she tells me to do. And it probably helps that she's my mom. So we have that as well. With that said, you pick your price point. Make sure you don't undercut yourself. So if the product costs you $2 and it's a bib, for an example, make sure you upcharge it enough, because you don't want to be undercharging yourself. You also don't want to be overcharging yourself either. You got to find out what works for you in your market. Maybe you're in a bougie neighborhood and you can get a lot of money for it. Maybe you only sell locally. But if you're selling to the online market, guess what? It don't matter. It doesn't matter what you're selling it for online, all right? What matters is what you're selling it for and whatnot. So here we go. Let me show you this. Here's a little lovey. Little lovey. Oh, it's so adorable. They're so soft. All right. Oops. And I'm going to fall on my butt. All right. Happens when you throw the paper all over the floor. The next lovey, again, has the white backing to it. All right. And this, again, blowout happens, people. Blowout happens. You see that? That's because we put good bleed lines on our stuff. So blowout happens. And you want to make sure that when that blowout happens that you know what? You're doing okay. There it is. Now there is a tag on these. You could decide what your top and your bottom is. That's completely up to you. Guess what? You can actually sub on both sides of these as well. Because it's fully poly, you can sub on both sides of these. So if you want to, you can. Just keep in mind you do have seams on this side. Well, you have seams on both sides, but the main seams are on the back side. But you sure as heck can totally do both sides of this lovey if you decide to. I only do one side. I don't do both sides. I just don't make that a thing. Now, by having this bottom blowout paper, what does it do? It protects the bottom platen, because guess what? You can have residual put on that one too, and you don't want that to happen. Other things that you can offer in your baby line is maybe keepsakes for grandma and grandpa, maybe their first time grandparents. Maybe you want to have memory boards for them, baby's first picture in the hospital, first picture of the new family, whether it's 1 or 10 in the family. You can add those in there. It's not just all things baby, but you got to think outside the box. Who is going to be involved in that baby's life? Maybe you want an ornament for the godparents. Maybe you want an ornament for the new aunt or uncle. Lots of different things you can offer. That's why the baby market is the biggest untapped market. I say that. Besides men, that's one of the biggest untapped markets because people just think of it, oh, it's just a baby item. No, it's a baby item. You see how I just totally flipped the script on that? Think how exciting. You will always have business with baby items. Like weddings, funerals, and babies. They all happen. All right. I would be using my heat gloves, but my dog Remington, well, my fur puppy, my fur grandpuppy, he decided to eat the thumb of my, we'll talk about that at a later date. That's a funny one. Anyway, here is that guy right here. So this is what it looks like without having any color in the back. In the image, it does show it as white, but really, you know, we can't press in white. You see how he came out? He's so cute. She is just absolutely adorable. I love this one. So we have that. I'm going to show you. So with this set, this is a set that I would offer. I would offer a bib and a burp and the lovey so that you can offer this as a complete set. What are you going to sell it for? That's on you. All right, I'm going to head over to the comments section. Hopefully the ladies. What is the little guy that she's pressing? I've pressed the little lovey is a little blanket that they can take around with them without taking their large blanket around with them. It's great for car seats, great for sitting in the swing. It's just a little thing for them to rub. It doesn't have anything on it like a stuffy or stuffed animal that the baby's gonna put, I mean the blankets are gonna put in their mouth anyway because that's just what they do. But this is the stuff that you can use. They're little loveys. I bought U-Haul pre-cut paper. It's easier when I'm in a rush. Oh, that's awesome. I don't use that. I thought about the pre-cut butcher paper. I really did. But then I was like, let's get over to the Johnson Plastics one real quick. We're going to do that. We're also going to do the onesie shirt that I have and the headband. You guys watched me do the different ideas and sets. Okay, so here you go. We're going to peel off this. I am going to put some butcher paper down. I'm going to reuse some butcher paper because it's only on the metal side and I really just need to protect the bottom platen. If it were fabric, I would not be reusing my butcher paper, but because it's metal, I will reuse my butcher paper. So we're going to line this up to the best of our ability. Now, I tend to do all of my metal upside down. I like to press it through the metal into this so it really gives it it curves up and around the metal edges. That's how I press all of my metal. Really, it's up to your manufacturer's instructions, and then you decide what works for you. Add the butcher paper to the top, and we'll adjust the pressure. I know this is going to need a little bit more pressure. And there you go. Yes, I know you just had a heart failure. There are some items that we can press transfer face up or substrate face up and transfer face down. There's going to be items that we have to mirror or we don't mirror. You just have to take your time, read over what you need to do, and then do what works for you. Cutting boards, yeah, those you don't mirror. Anything that's glass that you can see through, don't mirror it. Especially if you're doing it from the back side, okay? If it's a back side of an ornament or a back side of a cutting board, you do not mirror it, all right? If it's on the top, like a frosted mug, you mirror that because you're laying it on the top of it. So if you're laying anything from behind, you don't mirror it, but if you're laying it on the top, you do mirror it. Whether or not it's transfer face up or down, read the instructions. Like I said, for all my metal products, I literally do them face down. I've been doing that forever. That's how I can get through a lot of ornaments, by the way. So I get my metal ornaments, I will lay them all out. I don't even tape them. I will lay them all out and just close the press. So there you go. All right, we have this. All right, you want to see? There you go. Thank you, Remington. Thank you. Of course, this is the one finger I do need when you're grabbing onto hot metal. You know, don't worry, I ordered more. Now, if you want to check, you see how I taped it? I will bring it up to make sure that it's perfect in the pressing. If I think that there's any raw edges, I can lay it back down. But this pressed beautiful. And of course, I touch it with the damn thumb. Ah! At least I didn't swear like oh, that's gonna leave a mark later. Guess what? Metal's hot. Whoo, ouchie. Okay. Points for Nikki for not dropping the F-bomb. Yes! Okay. Once this cools off, you can definitely use double-sided tape. You could also use super glue, E6000, whatever it may be. But once you lay it in here, that is what you get. How gorgeous. As you can see, I carried her theme all the way through this. I'm actually giving this to a tribe member. The newest thing that I have that I'm doing here on the Sass is I'm reaching out to my own tribe members and saying, hey, listen, so this stuff doesn't stay around. They just pay the shipping and they get free product with names and stuff that they have that are made here on the Sass. So there you go. This is from Johnson Plastics Plus. It is their keepsake box. It is gorgeous. I love how it came out. It is perfect. Let that cool off and my thumb to stop beating. Woohoo! Ouchie. Ouchie. Hashtag Nikki did not swear. Oh, okay. Next up, we're going to work on the gown. So, and the last of the bibs, or the bibs, I'll work on those. But I want to work on this gown because I want to talk to you about it. So we're gonna lay some butcher paper down because I've been working on a lot of projects and I don't want any issues. No issues. You're gonna see how I do this. So for a gown, I do 2 pressings. Okay? Make sure it's everything around. So I will do 2 pressings. I will put the image here and then I will work on the image that's gonna go down here. But I do an insert so that it stretches out this bottom piece if I need to. Or I will tape it to and whatnot. We'll get to that in a second. But we're gonna do the chest design first. Dream big, little one is my theme. Okay. I don't tape it down. I make sure that there's some butcher paper to protect the investment. There's a lot of lines in this. There's a lot of lines in this. Hold up. I might want to taper down. I don't typically, but you know what? You're making me question myself. Did you know I can hear you yelling at me? Okay. I'm taping it down just so that if I have to press it further and make sure I squish the hell out of it kind of pressure, because there is all of the stuff around the collar. I know you guys just had heart failure and you watched my light bulb click on. Do you see what happens? Those are those facial expressions I was telling you about. Have any questions? Is there anything that you want me to show you that I'm still working on? Ask me about the stuff that has to do all things baby, and I will do the best that I can to try to help you. I really don't need fingerprints. They're highly overrated. And now it has a boo-boo on my thumb. So, what did we talk about? We talked about having baby blankets and bibs and burps. We have loveys. We have headbands. We can even make little cute bow ties for the boys. You can make those out of elastic and some fabric. And yes, you can make a really cute bow tie for a little boy. You have onesies and gowns. You can even find, you could do vinyl for them, because I've yet to find the diaper covers with that are sublimation. Diaper covers for sublimation with the cute little ruffles. Adorable. But can't find those anywhere currently. Hashtag somebody go find those. So there's lots of different things that you can do for a baby. Ornaments, signs, flags. We talked about towels being used for changing pads, right? There's so many different things that you can add. It just can keep getting bigger. There's really not too many things that we have in our substrate arsenal that you can't somehow twist and turn for a baby product. All right, so I'm doing this to make sure, there we go, perfect, that there was no real weird marks, okay? So yes, I will go through and use my lint roller, my velvet one, to get those press marks out. So we're gonna do that really quick. There's lines on here. We're gonna go through and I'm gonna pull against the grain and get it to where I can get those press marks right out of the fabric, and you just keep working at it. Keep working at it. And eventually you will get all of those press marks out of your fabric using your velvet lint roller. Some people use the crumble up paper method too. That's also all right. Now let's talk about this bottom half. Let that drape off the side because we don't need that anymore. What we're going to want to do is I'm going to want to stretch this. I'm going to want to put something in here to stretch this out. Now because this is a little bit big and this needs to be able to hang off the edge of whatever I put inside it. Why? You're going to ask. Well, because there's a lot of elastic here, and I don't want to be double pressing this. I only want to do this, okay? And I want to put her name on it. So what you're going to do is get yourself a piece of cardstock. We're going to make this from scratch because that's just how we roll around here, okay? So you know that you want to go probably, give or take, 10 inches. Okay, you want to take some cardboard, measure it about 10 inches wide. Okay, use a lot of cardboard for inserts. I do that a lot, and the reason I use the cardboard, it's cheap and I get it in a lot of my packages. Now I don't have to go super far up because, well, we don't. Okay. Let's see what I did for this one size. Let's see how well I did. Perfect. Okay. So what you're going to want to do is take this and literally feed it onto your cardboard. Line up your side edge, the side that you want it to go on. And I'm going to take this so it goes all the way down so that this goes off the edge. Okay, you're making a jig essentially. Okay, so now that I have my jig, all I'm concerned with, I could care less about this side, or I could care less about this side. I care more about this side of here because that's where I want the name to go. And I want this to hang off the edge because it has the elastic in it. And in this way, I'm not having issues with the elastic. Okay? So now that I've got this all where I want it to be, it's laid out the way I want it to be. Now, everybody has their own method. Please be reminded that this is the method that I use. No methods that I use are right or wrong. They're just how I do them and how my brain works. You will develop your own method to everything that you do. You will do what works for you, and you know what? Own it. Because Lord knows I do. Okay, so, oh, I gotta trim off the sides. Okay, and then I'm gonna just add this to my little side here. And press it down. I should have loosened it, but I didn't. All right. How are we doing so far? Major points. You really will the image not bleed through to the other side of the gown? Yes, I do have just extra cardboard laying around. I do. So I got it from Uline because I use it for, I got big sheets of cardboard and I use it for when I send my yard signs. Well, there's always a little bit of extra because I cut them down so they fit the yard signs for my bags because I put them in poly mailer bags. And I put the cardboard to help keep everything nice and secure and safe, right? Well, I have an extra piece at the end of the cardboard that I use for other projects. And no, the image does not bleed through to the other side. To answer that question, Shy, it does not bleed through. Highly overrated our fingerprints. Highly overrated our fingerprints. Ow. You know, Nikki does have heat gloves. I really do. Okay, here you go. This is what it looks like when she's all done. I'm putting you on the bigger camera. There you go. That's what it looks like when it is all said and done. Absolutely love how these always come out. They work for me. They love when I put the names down the side, whatever it may be. So that's where it's a beautiful thing with all of that. There you go. Pull those off. So we're going to work on the headband and we're going to work on the bib here, and then it's done and we get to the recap. Wow, I managed to pull this off in probably an hour and a half. Whoop, whoop. All right, we're going to do a full bleed on this one. Lay it out. Again, these were all pre-lint rolled for easier use for me. Lay it all out. Now, people often ask, Nikki, there's some Velcro on that. Is the Velcro going to be affected when it hits the heat press? No, the Velcro is heat press safe. Okay, we're just going to lay it down. And then I do this. Make sure everything is where I want it to be. Grab some butcher paper again. The baby Sass always gives me a great supply of butcher paper because I end up needing it right after the holidays, right? And then after I need them after the holidays, I'm like, God, I don't have any more shredded paper. Well, the baby Sass helps out with that. Okay. Drop it down. I didn't want to change the pressure on the gown just because I knew I was going to be doing stuff on the back end. All right. Oh, I should have printed two. I should have printed two for this, and I didn't. But I'm going to show you why I should have printed two. Because they're going to stop. But I'm going to show you how to tweak that. I should have printed two of this design, and I didn't. My fault, of course. But because I want the ends to be where I need them to be, we're going to cut my image in half. Ha ha ha. I'm working on the headband, by the way. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do in 2 seconds. Okay. All right, so now that we've gotten this far, all right, and we've gotten into this point, if you're seeing your image, again, coming through, you're pretty sure that you've got a great press. You should see it all the way around. Now it becomes, what happens when you reveal that paper, off that paper, right? So let's do that. I love my fingerprints. I love my fingerprints. And rip it off! No, I'm kidding. You really didn't have to do it that way. And it didn't have to be that dramatic, but you know what? I knew it was okay. All right. And there is the bib. It's absolutely gorgeous, right? Again, you can see the whole theme. It isn't, she wanted a sun catcher theme, but I wanted to bring it out to where it wasn't dream catcher. It wasn't a dream catcher in your face theme. I wanted it to kind of grow with her, just in case things change in life, you know? All right, so now let's talk about this. Let's talk about the mistake I just made. So we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to combat it. So I should have printed out two. Instead, I just cut this, right? I should have printed out two. Let me tell you what you can do to combat this. So first things first, you want to line up your image on the corner to corner, right? It is a great spot in the center. It could be in the center. It's on the back of her head, so it really is not going to matter because once you tie it, it's not going to matter. Or it's a great place to put your logo. Okay? So we are going to put this down here. And it's not too far off, but it was off enough to where I didn't want the ends, the points to not have the design. So it was enough for me to go, well, I should probably fix that, right? So this is me combating, saying, you know what? I made a boo-boo. This is a great spot, and I don't know if you can see it on the press. It's a great spot right there to put your logo, or what you could do is just make it longer and make two pieces and then butt them up together. It's okay that the seam is right there in the middle. Why? Well, because again, it's going to be one of those things that, and did you notice I just went crisscross with that? Because it is too long to go the other way, I'm going to go crisscross with this one. All right. So, all right. Now that we've got it crisscrossed to where we want it to be, okay, put some butcher paper over the top. It was more important for me to have the ends done than have the center done. And then, like I said, you can put your logo in the back part of that, or you just make the end pieces bigger and you just butt them up together at the ends. That's what makes that a beautiful project. It's really just up to you how you can fix it, but it doesn't mean that it's horrible either. Emergency aloe. No, my thumb's better. I don't need aloe. It's fine. And one thing about being in the sublimation business, you recover quickly when you burn your fingers. You absolutely recover quickly. So, any questions so far? I'm going to grab a drink because I have been working nonstop for an hour and 22 minutes. Are you learning anything is the question. I hope you are. I hope you are learning. There's so much to offer in this great big world we call baby. There's nothing too little or too big. You could do keychains for the new mom and dad. Maybe that's how you want to, do a surprise gender reveal. The gender reveal is a great option too. You can offer. Why is it a great option? Well, gender reveals are a good product. I will tell you that I have had a hard time using the mugs that change color because you can see through that color change. So that one kind of gives it away before it gives it away kind of thing. I've had people use my ornaments and literally tuck them inside of a cake and then pull it out. Yes, they have done that. They put it in plastic and then they pull it out. Lots of different things that you can do for gender reveals kind of thing. They have the vinyl that changes color when heat or cold, I believe, is applied to it. So that might be a good idea for you. There's lots of different options from the time the baby's gender reveal to the, from the baby's birth announcement that baby has been born or baby's been conceived, I should say. There's it is. The ultrasound picture. You have the ultrasound picture and then, all right. So here's what it looks like with the gap. I'll get back to my little thing in a second. So that's what's going to look like with the gap in the center. Again, you can put your logo in the center or you can butt it up. Like I said, for this particular tutorial, don't worry, Shy, I will go through and fix it. This will be that you just literally come around, all right? And then you come around again. Mom can do this whole knotting thing. You don't have to. That's the beautiful part of this. But all they're going to do is a double knot. And then what I do is I pull this double knot as tight as I can get it and have the little tight, see, because I wanted that. I wanted that. Twist this around. Twist it around town. And now you have a really cute headband that matches the theme, right? For me personally, I love the stretchy headbands the most. All right, the stretchy headbands are my favorite style headband. I make sure that they're long enough. I will measure them out to be 18 inches because they do stretch, but I leave them unknotted with beautiful instructions because babies' heads are all different sizes and I don't want it to leave a little indentation in baby's head. So I let the mom knot it. I put it completely with the design on it. I add the little bow. I might add a little corker, whatever it may be. Even just a bunch of these, especially if baby comes out bald and you want to know if it's a girl or a boy and you want to just say, this is what we're doing. That's what you can do. They're soft on babies' heads. They don't leave the indentation. And I feel as if baby does grow out of these ones a lot quicker than these ones. Because, again, you can knot them. Now, you can also tell mom to leave the tails on. Mom can knot it, and then she can unknot it to loosen it so it kind of just grows with baby. Again, that's why I leave mine unknotted with a beautiful little note saying, congratulations on your cute little one. Here's how you can grow with your baby. So there you go. Always. Did you know that you can add stars? So here's a new thing. If you're over on my Facebook channel right now, guess what? You can add stars. The stars is basically how it funds the Sass. I know this is going to sound crazy, but I give a lot of prizes away in the year. I have affiliate links to Driven by Graphics, and the money that I get from Driven by Graphics, I use for prizes for you. I don't use it for my own business at all. When I go live with Condi, I get Condi dollars. When I teach over at Condi, and I use those for prizes for you. So if you want to send stars and you're on the Facebook page, what you're doing is just helping to fund the prize prize fund, essentially. It doesn't cost a fortune, don't worry. And it's not like I'm making buku ton of bucks on this, okay? So there you go too. It just means we're gonna up the ante this year. Add stars if you can, if you're on the Facebook channel. And what it does is it helps for our end of the year Christmas giveaway, where I will give away big prizes. If you missed that Christmas giveaway, we gave away printers this year. That's right, we gave away printers. So if you want to be a part of the Christmas holiday season and you want to add a little bit of a contribution, you can add stars, which cost like $3 for like 200 or whatever it is, and just add them. That would be helpful. There you go. And if you're on Facebook and you've never liked my YouTube channel, head over to YouTube, find the Sassy Subber, and go ahead and subscribe. It will let you know when I go live. Also here on the Sassy Subber Designs page, make sure you go to the 3 little dots and click notify. There's a notify button that'll notify you every time I go live, when I make posts. This way you get those notifications. Also, if you head over to the Sassy Subber group page, there's text alerts. That's right, you can even get text alerts for me to let you know when there's sales and deals and all things that are happening in the Sassy Nation. You can tell I've talked for about an hour and a half. I'm losing all of my words. This is at the point where I get to say thank you to the ladies behind the helm. Let's everybody say again thank you to Jody and Jess for playing along with the bouncing ball this morning. They always know that the baby Sass is a big Sass. It literally is a lot of stuff in a short amount of time. But the beautiful part is I only had really one main vendor I had to go to, and that was Driven by Graphics. I'm going to pop over before we do that recap that I do every single Sunday, where we rewind everything we've talked about. I give you tips, tricks, and ideas in about 30 seconds, maybe a little bit more. So here's the products that we used in this video. There we go. Those are the products that we used in this video today. We did bibs and a burp cloth. We did a lovey. We did a blanket, all from Driven by Graphics, run by Marvin. We also had a headband and a onesie, though that was the gown instead of the onesie. That was from Kids Blanks. And then we did the memory keepsake box. That came from Johnson Plastics Plus. They are gorgeous, and you can paint them a different color if you wanted to. You needed a heat press, heat tape, lint roller, blowout paper, lots of blowout paper, and your heat settings will vary. I used $3.95 for 65 for everything that I did in this video today. So there you go. Whew. I did it. I swear I would be done by noon, and it looks like I will be done well before then, and that has always been my goal. Try to jam-pack full of lots of information into these Sasses so that you guys can literally go back onto the YouTube channel and rewind it and watch it and say, hey, there you go. Thank you to my sponsor, Driven by Graphics, for the stuff that he sent over to me. I am very blessed to be able to call him one of my friends, longtime friend now. He got me into this crazy world of designing, so I always blame him for everything. If you want these designs, you can head over to the Sassy Subber on Etsy or the sassysubber.com page. Either one, you will find me. I am all over the interwebs. That is right. I have a TikTok page, I have Instagram, and of course Facebook and YouTube. That's where you can find things, all Sassy Subber stuff. Whew! That was a lot of stuff. You ready? I hope so. Let's see if we can do this. Let's see if we can do this. Thank you, Justin Jody. Here we go. It's a lot. It's a doozy. All right. Here we go. Here's what I call the recap that I talk about of everything I just talked about over the last hour and a half. It goes by very quickly. I literally it's the fastest you'll hear me talk ever. All right, so don't worry. There's a rewind button for a reason. All right, first things first, we're going to talk about the box from Johnson Plastics Plus. This is the keepsake box that you take out this metal insert. Remember, we did it face side down. So we did this face side down. I did it for $3.95 for 65. That's how I press all of my metal products. I make sure I use my blowout paper top and bottom on all of my products, although you will see that I messed that up already this morning. The boxes do come white. You can then spray paint them a different color if you want to. The white absolutely looks charming. I love the design that comes in here. You're going to use E6000, a double-sided tape, or super glue to put this in the box. You can get these amazing items from Driven by Graphics. That is right. He has your baby Bibs. He has your cute little loveys. This is what they look like when they are pressed with a white back and with a full bleed. These are great for baby to hang around with. They're also great and work great as doll blankets for your little ones because they're the perfect little size. These are 11 by 18, super, super soft, and they match the softness of this guy right here. This is the Driven by Graphics 30 by 6. Do I got this up there? Okay. This is the 30 by 40 blanket that they have for baby blankets. Now, if you're looking at it going, Nikki, that's a baby blanket. Yeah, I know, but you know what else you can use it as? A lap blanket. Ask me how I know. My husband uses them all the time, especially my mess ups. So these are not only great for baby, they may be great for that fur baby. They're also great for your bigger baby who just wants to sit on the couch and cover up his legs. So whatever you want to use it for, these are super, super soft. You could do 4 13 by 19. You could do a scattered like I did. You could see that the colors just absolutely pop on this. Can you press both sides? Why, yes, yes, you can. It is a 30 by 60, like I said. And there we have that. He also has over there some burp cloths. The burp cloths are called the peanut shape, right? So he has, whoops, there's tape on that one. So he has those, again, with a no color background, great for the smaller presses. And this way you don't have to piece designs together. If you have a smaller press, I have a ton in my collection over at the Sassy Subber on Etsy. You can find all of my baby collection over there. I have over 200 listings for that. This is also over there. You have this part of it right there as well. Those are the two different types that you could do a full bleed. You could do the ends. We also talked about headbands. While we're at it, we talked about the stretchy headbands that you could get the elastic. It's fold over elastic you could get from Amazon, or you can get this from Kids Blanks, and also from Kids Blanks, you can get their onesies. I highly recommend their onesies. They are the top of the line onesies. I have yet to find one that I love any more than these. This is the baby gown. They're super nice and thick. They're not see-through at all. They have... You could do whatever you want with this. This is the baby gown that we did. I showed you how we put the cardboard in so that we could go definitely with this down here to combat all of that. Those are from Kids Blanks. We did some honorable mentions of things that you could definitely show off and use for baby. Not only can you use the ball ornaments from Driven by Graphics, they're great for gender reveals. They're great for showing off the sonogram, maybe baby's first picture in the hospital, maybe grandma and grandma's first baby, grandchild, whatever it may be. These are a great idea that you can use. And the reason I put the paper in there is because you can put little decorative items in there. Maybe little baby shoes, maybe the baby's birthstone, whatever it is. There's a great, that's why I put those in there, so you could see you could do it. I just put paper in there. You can't see the picture, but you want to put small items at the bottom, you absolutely can. Think of it like a charm ornament, if you will. All right, you're going to hear more about that charm ornament in an upcoming Sass. Then you could also do birth announcements on garden flags, double-sided. You could use it as a banner on your door, or you can use it as a garden flag is what it's used for. He has these double-sided, absolutely stunning, microfiber ones. Love these to death. They press absolutely stunning, and they hold up really, really well to the elements outside. You can also use his towels over at Driven by Graphics. You could use the 11 by 18 or the 15 by 25. They make great towels just to have in the diaper bag, but it also is a great place for baby to be changed on. So they also make for great changing tables. There we go. I think I got through it. Again, thank you to Marvin from Driven by Graphics for the donation of those items. I do greatly appreciate that. It helps fund me here at the Sass, so I don't have to pull it always out of my pocket, and he's always been very gracious to me when it comes to when I get to show off his wonderful products. He has a lot of other things over there. He is the ink guy that we use, so we make sure that we have it over there. I want to see if my friend du jour showed up this morning over on the YouTube channel, because I always make sure I give her a shout out. Let me see if she's here this morning. I do not see her. Usually Lori from Sawgrass pops in on Sunday mornings over on our YouTube channel. If you are a Sawgrass user and whatnot, head over to the Sawgrass user group run by Lori Donovan. She is our Sawgrass ambassador over here at the Sass and over nationwide, actually, and she's also a Reggie winner. So make sure you head over to her page as well. You'll hear a lot more over the next couple of weeks. The different sister tribes that I do work with and what they offer. You're going to hear a lot more about my other vendors that are considered Sassy vendor approved. I talk about vendors that come from Condi, Coastal, JDS, RPL, Sub 101. We have Johnson Plastics, Giotto. I'm probably missing something in there along the way. Those are what I call, oh, and Silky Socks. I always forget that because I moved him up to the major vendor category. So those guys are the major players in the game. If you're looking for Silky Socks, guess what? He's got baby items coming as well. So if you're looking for socks, maybe new dad socks, new auntie socks, whatever it may be, you can get those over there. Great for that. He's got shirts that he's got coming out as well. Those are considered my major vendors in the game. And then I have my guy next door, girl next door kind of vendors. There are homegrown vendors. There are people like Sublimation Underground, Driven by Graphics, Blanktastic. You have My Sublime Designs. You have J&L Sublimation Blanks. You have RREM distributors, SlingingArrow.com. You also have Apparicium. Co.com. Those I know I probably, and Rider Digital Works, Just Blanking Fun. I'm trying to make sure that I didn't forget any of my vendors. There's so many on the list. And then over in the Sassy Summer group, we have a team of designers. They are the most amazing people on the face of the planet. I have known these ladies for a long time. Some are new over the last year, and some I've literally known for the last 3 years. Jess being one of them, and my sister. Well, I've known her a lifetime, but that's besides the point. If you're looking for great designs and great vendors that are Sassy approved, head over to the Sassy Summer group over on Facebook, and you'll find me there. If you're watching me on YouTube, thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing over there. I greatly appreciate it. You guys have been absolutely wonderful today. I hope I got it all in, and I did it in a reasonable amount of time. It was a lot of talking. Thank you guys for joining me. The Back to Session Sass for the baby Sass. I look forward to talking about Sublimation Underground next Sunday. That's right. Join me next Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, stay classy, stay sassy, and I'll see you guys all on the flip side.